Good morning for the BGI demo day. It's 10:40 in Portugal, in Lisbon. However, here with me, we have entrepreneurs from all over the world, and none of them is Portuguese. So this is a first for the BGI Accelerator. Okay, perfect. So right now, the BGI Accelerator, and also for you to know a little bit more on the BGI Accelerator, it is an accelerator that has been running for the last 12 years. So everything started with the MIT Portuguese Entrepreneurship and Innovation Initiative, but soon it went to be so much more than that. So we have been supporting these lovely startups since that time, and with extremely interesting results, since we have amongst our alumni, amongst the colleagues of these startups who were in the shoes of the startups we are presenting today, we have a unicorn. We also had 7 exits. We have over 300 million euros raised. And of course, we are extremely excited to present to the community the startups that we have chosen to support, to start supporting this year and for the following years. Because indeed, we see that at BGI, we want to create here a relationship for the long run. So it is with a lot of pressure that I'm presenting today to you actually 6 amazing startups, young entrepreneurs, or young in their first startup. Some of them are also serial entrepreneurs, so they have been also doing other startups previously. And our main goal, as you probably know, is that BGI will be supporting these deep technology innovations, and we want to foster them into having not only fundraising, but also to reach their potential clients the fastest way possible. So this week, it's the first week that we start working with these startups. We have been working really hard throughout this entire week for them to also start, let's say, working not only on their pitches, but also on the strategy for their market. But this is just the kickoff, because right now the real work starts for us to go forward. So we know that there are several investors watching, and our goal is actually that you on that site can not only also provide us with your feedback, but also questions that you might have. So I'm going to invite everyone who is on YouTube to actually write your questions on the chat, and I will be here with the teams and I will transmit those to the teams. Each startup will have 5 minutes to pitch. The main goal is that in those 5 minutes, they will be able to explain you their value proposition and their ask. Today, this demo day is mostly targeted at investors. So they can also follow up with these startups. And also an email will be shared with you on YouTube that you can reach out if you are interested in any of these startups, or if you're interested to know more about them. Obviously, we'll be more than happy to connect you with them. So with that, I think it's time for me to present myself. I am Sofia Fernandes. I am the Director of Business Development here at BGI, and it is my responsibility to conduct a team that will not only accelerate these 6 amazing startups, but also to support them on the business development. So indeed, this is the beginning of the path, but there's still a lot of work to be done. So I also see that our CEO is here, and I would like also, just as an opening for this demo day, some words from our CEO, and also in regards to the 22nd anniversary or 22nd edition of BGI Accelerator. So it has been over a decade. And Gonçalo was the founder since moment 1 at BGI, and is also currently our CEO. So Gonçalo, I'll pass to you some words, maybe looking back to these over a decade of work with several entrepreneurs all over the world. This year, we have a very interesting situation where we have no Portuguese entrepreneur amongst our alumni. So that's alumni and startups that were chosen for this year edition, which is a new situation. I believe that has never happened before. So Gonçalo, I'll pass over to you just to give us here maybe an overview of the accelerator over the years, and also your expectations for the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sophia, for hosting.
Gonçalo, we cannot hear you.
Sound okay?
Yes,
All right.
perfect.
Thank you very much for this intro, for hosting this yet another edition of BGI, 12th edition. So it's been 11 years of active and supportive activities with many founders. You're our most important asset, founders that want to move the world forward, and of course that believe they can make a difference. So the week has been very long. I know you guys are super eager to jump into stage and pitch to a wide community of entrepreneurs, founders, and some people that have been, some of them in your shoes many years past, and they can help you. So this is start of a long process, as you know. Startup world is not an easy thing. It's a long process. Will be here for you to count on and support you over the next not only weeks in the go-to-market plan, but next few years. So use the resources that we can provide wisely, and of course in the contacts that you establish, be wise, be smart, and all the best of luck to the ventures that you're now building. And we look forward to the many success and endeavors that will come with that process. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone. Thank, of course, all the community members for BGI that have been building these global entrepreneurs with us, without whom we'd not be here, that's for sure. Many of them have invested in BGI alumni startups, now over 300 million in total, and of course many of them international, from many geographies, not only in Europe, Asia, and the US. So I'll pass on the floor to Sophia. Thank you all for this, for their presence, and good luck for all the pictures in this edition. Thank you.
So Gonçalo, actually, I would like to ask you a question. I'm also going to be interactive because I am managing here the YouTube chat where there are some questions popping up. So as we just mentioned at the beginning, indeed, BGI already counts with a unicorn, but also with several exits. And as you just mentioned, a lot of capital raised. Over the past year and experience you have had actually with these startups, what do you think makes a great entrepreneur and a great CEO for a startup, which is sometimes very different from the skills of a corporate CEO? So what would you say that are those key points you have been seeing over the years on those entrepreneurs?
I'm not sure I have the answer to that question. It's a great question, the multi-million-dollar question, but for sure, energy, passion, and of course, a willingness to go where uncharted territory, go where others would not go. So every morning when these founders wake up, they really have a desire. They really have a kind of a wish to move things forward. They never give up, and in fact. Of course, we know that failure is when you stop trying. So what I usually say to our founders is that if you try enough, you'll find, even if the problem that you're trying to solve now is not what you expect eventually after you talk to customers in the market and so on, you'll get somewhere. If you keep persisting, you'll find another problem. You'll build a trusted network of people that believe in that new product that you're trying to solve, and eventually you'll start again and you'll get there. So perseverance, resilience, of course, some stubbornness in a positive manner, energy, drive, honesty. I think these are some of the aspects, ingredients, for sure, not all of them, but some of the aspects that it's required.
Thank you so much, Gonçalo. And with that being said, I really thank you for making our opening. And we are now about time to start and kick off with the pitches. I know that our audience is mostly right now with a lot of, let's say, expectations towards these startups. But indeed, as I just said, the path and the adventure just starts this week. But of course, you also have available on the chat our email, geral@bgi.pt. And if you are interested in getting to know or meet each one of these startups, we would be more than able to connect you with them, and we would be happy to do so. So with no further ado, I will kick off with a moment that we are all expecting a lot, which is the startup speech. As I said, we will have 5 minutes per startup for their pitch, and then I will go for some Q&A with them with either questions you can write on the chat and also others that we already have prepared from our investors. So with that being said, I'm going to present the first startup that we are going to have today, OneFixAll, who actually is using artificial intelligence to improve Forex trading efficiency. This is actually a competitive trading tool and is designed to deploy rule-based strategies into Python bots. So for that, I will ask one of the representatives of OneFixAll, Milan Kazarka, who has been here with us since Monday. And Milan, over to you, and feel free to share your screen.
And thank you, Sofia. Thank you, Gonzalo, and thank you, BGI, for having us. And I will just share my screen as mentioned.
We can see your screen now.
Hello, yes, perfect. So again, hi, my name is Milan Kazarka, CEO of OneFixAll. And what we are doing, we are helping individual foreign exchange traders grow. And how do we plan to doing that? We want them to transition from trading on their desktops to trading in algo online, whilst backing up their transactions on the blockchain. So how does the industry currently look like? So if you're a beginning and individual foreign exchange trader, so not working in a trading floor, you're not a bank, you don't have access to large infrastructure, you mostly download MetaTrader. Over 90% of people, over 90% of Forex traders do that. And if you want your algo strategies to work 24/5, then you traditionally rented a Windows VPS system. So that was a kind of an old school way of doing that. And this had traditionally problems. You had lack of scalability, and you had a one-to-one connection to your broker, whereas your broker could delete your transaction history and such. And your monitoring was very hard. So this is actually how you would be simulating your cloud, right? So if you actually understood the problem as a trader, you wanted to move your algo strategies online, and you were simulating your cloud, which was suboptimal, and you didn't have access to the infrastructures of the large players. So that's where we come in. We have launched a online SaaS tool, OneFixAll, through which you can load your algo strategies, your Python scripts, to our cloud, where we do the load balancing, we do the monitoring. You don't need to worry about scalability. You can run one bot, you can run 100, it doesn't really matter. And we back all of the transactions on a blockchain. So even if you connect to a broker who, let's say, they can get hacked or something else can happen, you lose your transaction history. With us, since we sit in the middle, it doesn't happen. We are not regulated because you don't need to move money to us. You can keep your money on your broker, right? So it's an easy to set up system. So the market is obviously huge. It's over 13 million foreign exchange traders. And I don't even need to talk about the trading volume, because trading volume and algo trading goes into trillions. So we get into a little bit like an abstract territory of money. But we have an over 100,000 launch addressable market. Whereas we currently have in our closed beta customers in South Africa, Indonesia, and the US. So the competitive landscape. So of course we aren't the first ones to going to the cloud, right? We don't compare ourselves to the, you might know, Ether or Robinhood and such. There are very specific tools in the foreign exchange trading market. The specifics of us is that we don't need you to move any funds to us. We back up all transactions on the blockchain. We have a mobile system, and we are fully synced with your existing trading terminal, right? So you can move back and forth with it. With your existing trading terminal being the most widely used solution on the market, that being MetaTrader, right? Simple SAS service, right? So it's all dependent on your size. So if you're a very small trader, you have a few bots. If you're larger, you have more, or we can also launch custom. We also have a package for brokers where you might have 1,000 clients, you want to do white label, why not? Where are we? So we are launched in closed beta. We have our first clients who are actually trading. We have an advisor circle from brokerage, trading, and also recently banks. And we are all fully developed in-house. And these weeks, we are going from closed beta to public beta. So up until now, we have been offering the solution to our direct clients because we have 20 years of experience in the industry. So we had a lot of connections. We first wanted to service those, and we are planning to go live. What are we asking for? 500K. We are already quite far in terms of the product. So what are we looking at is really automating the sales, right? Because in some time we might deplete our connections of contacts. So we want to invest heavily in marketing and also, of course, in new hires. We want to have a normal support team, product development, operational costs are there. And who's bringing you on FXO? It's an extremely international team, right? So Andreas Andri, who also owns the trading office where we initially launched. He's in Bali, he's trading since 2002. Giancarlo Caputi, so he's in Canada. He has been launching trading floors in London. Me, ex-Toyota, doing products for 20 years. Martin Gergel, so he's a math expert. Sasha, book author, PR expert. We are actually now launching an office in Singapore, in her hometown. That's it. That's us, One FXO. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Milan. All right. I have here some questions, and I will try to ask you to, in more or less 1 minute, answer each question. So the first one is actually regarding the trust that you can have on the platform, because it might have confidential information for many of the trades that are being conducted. So how do you keep this information safe and you protect it from potential leaks? That would be the first question.
On a purely technical level, we are on a tier 4 infrastructure in Italy. We come from a deep cloud computing / Linux / security background, me also, right? So that's on a technical level, right? So we are not on AWS, we are in very specific data centers, right? Which exist. So it's not those shared infrastructures like Azure, like AWS and such. And blockchain, all of the data is specifically encrypted, even if it's on the blockchain, the data that is stored in the individual blocks. I could go into more details on that, but that's essentially it.
One of the questions we also have on the chat is there any opportunity to try out the platform before going for a paid subscription?
We have a test account that we are showing. My plan is actually, so my going further plan is actually, if there is a client who onboards, I want there, once we do new hires, do like a 45 to 1 hour session to showing the whole system to the new clients. I've seen that, I've done that in my former job. I think that's a great thing. We did that with carpooling clients in my former work, and that really worked, right? So you do a presentation to all onboarding clients.
All right. Milan, you also mentioned that you already have clients. So here the question would be, have you, for the first traction you got, did you already raise some capital so far or not? And what would be, and you're already present in some countries, what would be the next countries you would like to go for?
So we initially expanded in Southeast Asia because the trading office where we could also test our solution, that's of our CEO. So that was most natural. Then we went to the US and South Africa. What's the next countries? It really depends. From my perspective, there is a huge expansion in Southeast Asia. You have a huge expansion and capital in the Middle East, and US is traditionally a huge market, right? And sorry, I forgot the first question was.
The first question was regarding if you have raised capital so far.
It was all bootstrapped, right? So so how did we fund the company? We also have some blockchain NFT projects, right? Where, of course, there we also gather some knowledge, and based on that knowledge, we have launched this product. But it was all bootstrapped from our own capital, from our own funds up until now.
All right, Milan, thank you so much for your presentation. I will now move for the next startup who will be presenting. We are going to present to you right now EasyPoint, who is a fully autonomous point of sales built to automate the retail technology. This startup develops smart stores, yes, smart storefronts and self-service cafes, and the software solution to increase sales and build a digital customer base. So I will pass over to the representative of EasyPoint, right now with us, Ilya. Ilya, over to you.
Hi, everyone. Do you see my screen?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay, can I start?
Yes, you can go for it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ilya. I'm a co-founder of EasyPoint team and its CEO. 3 years ago, together with my colleagues Ilyas and Alex, and experts in the development and management of IT projects, we thought it would be cool to have always fresh and healthy food in our office. There was a cafe in our office building, and there were there were always large queues, and vending machines sold only snacks. So we decided to create a full autonomous point of sale without any queues and full-time access. We have constructed the first micro market in for ourselves and set up food suppliers for office. This experience was successful, and we decided to share it with others. By the end of 2019, we already had a network of 20 micro markets in Moscow. By the second quarter of 2020, after testing our hypothesis, we thought that we found our first client. And from that moment, we became an autonomous process service. We realized that our service can change the market of traditional vending machines because it have several problems. Lack of marketing tools with personalized offers, lack of tools for automatization of logistics and control of products quality, and lack of flexibility and high price of vending machines. So we have developed solutions for these problems with using big data science and to analyze user preferences and personal offers. Using smart analytics to reduce logistics costs and expiration date for goods. By constructing a single device that allows easily transform any refrigerator into a smart point of sale, and by developing a mobile application for contactless sales. So our value proposition is a smart point of sale working everywhere and anytime. From the side of our customer, this works such a way. Customer scans QR code, opens the door, takes goods, scan label on goods, and pay in Easy app. The size of vending machine market in the world is growing. According to forecast, in 2024, it will amount to $35 billion. In nearest future, we expect to get 1% of European vending market, which is about $120 million. Our competitor for today are traditional vending, delivery services, and traditional market. As you can see, we are better than them in main attributes. Our business model is B2B and B2C and B2B2C. We earn money on subscription to every single point of sale and selling kits all over the world. Our traction for today, we have a monthly revenue about 13,000 euro. We have 4 large retailers in our clients and some smaller clients and some smaller clients, and more than 120 points of sale here in Russia. In 2021, to enter the European market and launch 100 pilot points of sales, we need to raise a pre-seed round. It's $350,000. And after scaling up European market, we are going to start expansion in US market in 2024. That's all. Thanks for hearing me. Any questions?
All right, thank you so much, Ilya. Yes, there's going to be the first question where you talk about personalization, and these in some cases would actually replace, let's say, a person, right? So how can you ensure, or what kind of mechanisms do you have to actually have this personalization in place to your customer? What data do you look for to do this personalization?
We're looking for their preferences in buying goods, for their way of life. They can share with us with their way of life, and our algorithms will do the best offer for them.
All right, the next question would be how to avoid potential robbery, because this would eventually remove or reduce the staff people that could be close to these retails. Have you considered that? And if so, how?
Robbery in our markets are already now less than in in traditional shops, because every customer know that that he is authorized while opening any point of sale. It's the first one, and in the second one, it's that we're working on now. It's video analytics that will understand and send to our clients information about some specific actions in the point of sale.
All right, another question we have here from the chat would actually be, what is your geographical focus for further expansion? You mentioned Russia, but what else?
Today we're working in Russia. It's mostly Moscow and St. Petersburg. This year we're going to relocate our service to Europe. We are going to start from Portugal. Today we are talking to our future clients in France, and we are going to start from these 2 countries.
All right, the last question would actually be regarding your attractions. So for instance, you already have these installed in St. Petersburg. The question would be, so how did you implement it, and what did it take in terms of resources, in terms of installing apps or even extensions for the retail itself, what was needed, for the consumers itself, what was needed, and how long did it actually take to implement this? Can you tell us a little bit more about the current clients?
For example, we have a client called, I don't want to name it. It's an ad of healthy food. They're providers of healthy food. They have about 18 points of sale in Moscow. They to every point where they're going to start sales, they look some specific decision for fridge equipment, and it takes about 2 or 3 hours to install our EasyPoint kit and to start selling. So their scaling is fast. Up to 80 points of sale, they grew for 4 months, I think.
All right, Ilya, we are running out of time. Thank you so much. Once
Thank
again,
you.
if you want to reach out to these entrepreneurs, you have on the chat the email, and we will connect you with entrepreneurs for more questions. Then as well, as next startup, our third startup presented here today is ExoTrade, who is creating a new experience enable trade to perform sustainable, where users can connect key players in a single blockchain platform. These all for the sustainable trades, finance, global payments, and logistics across stakeholders, building their marketplace in one ecosystem of trust. So to explain us ExoTrade, I'm going to pass the word to Juan da Rocha. Juan, if you want, you can also share your screen. So over to you.
Hi, Sophia. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the introduction. I want to thank you all for joining us. I want to talk to you about this, our new startup, and ExoTrade is the new fintech for sustainability. As you may know, we are facing very critical challenges in the world, and we are in a very important transition for more sustainable economies. What this has been doing, it's a very positive impact on how capital flows are shifting and are reshaping trade flows, and especially reshaping the supply chains. So, but the thing is that now it's a fact that to achieve that into how to exchange, how do we exchange goods, how do we exchange trust, how do we exchange currencies, digitization and performance of sustainability, it's necessary and needs to be embedded in every business from now on. So that's but we have found many problems to do that, on how companies can achieve those performance and how can they actually being able to trade without frictions. And what we found is that current solutions, or the way people is doing, and they find very fragmented and complicated systems that are very inefficient.
Juan, just to make sure your slides are not moving. We are still on the first slide, correct?
Yes, I also see the first one only.
Okay.
I'm stopping the time, so don't worry about the time. Let's just make sure that we can see all the slides. We are still on the first slides. Maybe you are sharing.
Maybe I have, maybe I have issues with the internet.
Maybe just stop sharing, and then retry the sharing. Maybe I would suggest that.
Yes. Okay. We'll go again. Are we there?
Yes, we are good. Okay, now we are on a slide that says plus 60% of SME cannot perform.
Okay. Okay, good. Yes. I'm going to continue. I'm sorry if the sharing stops. I will have to without the slides. So what it's been happening in the market is that more than 60% of small and medium companies actually they cannot perform their trades and are simply denied of any form of products services of trading by banks or by their other peers. So, but we are about to change that. We're developing a platform where you can connect with key players and stakeholders everywhere, anytime. That means that you can connect in a decentralized ecosystem with banks. You can connect with buyers, with sellers, with your logistic peers, so you can trade, you can make and receive payments and manage your logistics. Our solution is not only 100% digital, which means that you can digitize your operations, and our transactions are 100% secure, are 10 times faster than any other solution, and you can save 20% at least of what on how you could do it in other ways. So we have basically three models. One is about open finance, and the other one is that creates the opportunity for you to establish a good supply chain and create your own marketplace in our impact trading hub. So the market size, it's estimated globally in $18 trillion, but the serviceable market is about $1.5 trillion. This is represented by that gap of those 60% of companies that are not able to perform nowadays. And the market we're targeting, it's about 3 billion euros. So we are the right team to do that. We are multicultural, multidisciplinary team. And
1 minute.
This is my first startup, but it's not my first company. And we have experience for 20 years in the international trade market, in the trade finance market. And Matthias also has been performing this for 15 years. Diego has been developing apps for banking platforms. And Imran, it's a PhD in information communications and digital platform. So we're very proud of the team we're gathering. And well, thank you so much. And I'm open for questions.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Juan. The first question would actually be, what is the key benefit you bring to your clients? Is it only about complying with existing regulations?
Well, compliance is one of the key factors that, and it's one of the first barriers that companies facing. How to comply with KYC, KYC regulations, how to comply with new taxonomy regulations addressing sustainable performance. So the platform, it's not a compliance platform, but the platform in our process, you of course have a digital ID. This allows to banks to verify the identification of their peer, of their customer. And in this decentralized network, what you can have is that everyone that has a valid digital ID on our platform. So it's of course, and we can enable that. So that friction is something that we remove. And every time you trade in our platform, so you are actually having a screening, a complete screening of the records, and that data also, it's yours, it's private, it's owned by you.
All right, Juan, the next question, and I would say for you to remove this slide because we stayed on one slide. So if you want, you can just put on a slideshow where we can see all the slides meanwhile. So, but the next question would actually be, you talk about 3 trillion euros market or dollars market. It's extremely interesting, and your strategy has to be really fast to obtain this market. Even if, of course, you can never obtain the 100% of it, but let's look into what have you done so far. So you have been talking about the development of it. You've talked a little bit about what the team has done so far, but what are the results of ExoTrade so far? What is the track record got so that you have until the moment?
Okay, so we have been in this market for 15 years exactly. So ExoTrade, so we can address like that that track record to ExoTrade. So ExoTrade, what it is, it's the compile of this experience across countries, across transactions, and that now we are digitizing and we are developing so everyone can actually trade without being an expert, and that has been it's our purpose. So that so far with the market with ExoTrade, well, we already have received the support of IBM. So the technical part, it's been very difficult, but IBM is supporting the project. So we are done with that. So we are ready to enter in production shortly. And we also have validated with the market, with not only with banks, but with potential customers. And while the results till now has been 80% satisfactory, we still are digging in some other points, but we are at this point that we are going to accelerate our entry to the market.
All right, Juan, thank you so much. Once more, if you still have more questions or want to connect with the startup, please let us know and we'll be happy to make the connection. Juan, thank you so much, and I'm sorry for this logistical issue. Let's go for our next startup. Let's go for our next startup, Nexton. Nexton is an innovative high-tech startup who is specialized in ICT smart technologies. It's focused in outdoor applications of sensor enabler services using wireless technology. This team aims at creating energy consumption awareness for the end user and the power to take action. So with this flagship of sustainability, I will pass to David Tuzi.
Hi, Sophia. Good morning, and good morning to all the attendees. So do you see the full screen mode, Sophia? If you confirm that, then I can start.
We see it perfectly. In case that we do not see you moving the slides, I will tell you, and we will just go for presentation mode. Okay, yeah.
Well, I will go. I'm Davide Tuzzi, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Nexton, which is an innovative startup company based in Italy. And I have now the great pleasure to introduce you our amazing project, Next Slide. It's an innovative solutions which we have developed, which makes intelligent your outdoor lighting network and makes you save on cost. We are Nexton, and we have a very clear mission, which is to contribute to the development of more sustainable and connected communities. And our ambition is to build our Nexton city by keeping centric community and environment. We want to do this starting from a key infrastructure of the urban environment, which is the lighting network. To date, its operation is limited to lighting, is inefficient, expensive, and not sustainable at all. We aim to turn it sustainable and intelligent through the integration of sensors for the provision of smart city services. So here's the solution, Next Slide, which is an easy-to-use IoT hardware plus software compound to allow extensive energy saving at an affordable price. The working principle is quite straightforward. An integrated motion sensor detects the presence and transfers the information wirelessly to the other streetlights, and then adjusting the lighting density accordingly to the needs. The data are then conveyed onto a cloud space where we organize them and print them out for our customers in the form of visual outputs, which can be read with an app or software. It is plug and play, retrofit capable, autonomous, and easy to use. We designed it, developed it, and have a partnership in place with the manufacturing company to handle high volume requests. Through our software platform, which we see in this slide, the customers can manage remotely and in real time their streetlights network. The network is then also geo-localized, and customers get alerted when malfunctions occur. We have certainly got a few key reasons why customers should buy our solution. Just to mention some, up to 70% energy saving if compared with conventional scenarios, is sustainable, plug and play, and easy to use. One of the major side pain related to streetlights is also about maintenance, which is made nowadays reactive and it is expensive. Well, thanks to the collected data, now a predictive maintenance plan can be rolled out and the saving quota comes also from there. The IoT platform energy solution market is worth globally more than 60 billion and it is growing at a fast pace. We are convinced that we could address an attractive portion of it, counted in 4 billion. We are also riding the wave of favorable global and EU regulations, and this is basically for us just the perfect time. Market is very populated and fragmented, we don't hide that, though the 99% of the available solutions work by using a different principle, so-called predefined dimming profiles, which is based on its own on traffic prediction, compromising therefore with safety conditions. We do it better and differently because we work on real-time traffic data, which are collected and then which can also be used by customers afterwards for the provisions of other services. We have a clear and aggressive plan to take off the business. We target mainly the private market and go for B2C and B2B. In general, we'd like to focus this year locally and go internationally from year 2. The decision makers are CSR corporate managers, energy responsibles, facility managers, and so on. What have we done so far? We have built up a solid customer prospect pipeline, surveyed 100 of those, run a real scale pilot test to showcase and collect 20 plus letters of intent for a contract value of approximately 300K. Our customers pay us a one-off amount and a periodical subscription fee, which covers data hosting and dashboard management, and we make profit on both device and subscription. Here's the lineup. We are long-time friends before being colleagues and partners. We have a great mix of academic and professional background and experiences, and we've also got all the right competencies in place. We have also decided to advocate ourselves with a technical experienced advisory board member. Over time, we've got few awards and recognition, and we have also obtained a 50K investment in October 2020. We look now for what we call a sustainable investment to speed up our business and scale up. We have identified a pre-round A of 700K euros for implementation, sales cycle improvement, product optimization, and to develop our after-sales services portfolio. We also expect a new capital injection of 3 million in 2022. And that was the last slide. So thanks for your attention, and I'm also here at disposal to answer any questions.
Davide, thank you so much. I think that the startups today are actually showing that they can all pitch their value propositions in less than 5 minutes. So I want this to be recorded because on Monday you said that it was impossible. So it is possible, by the way. Some of the questions we have here for you, Davide. The first one is actually, what you are asking right now for 0.7 million or 700K, and what's your investment runaway? So you also talk about the next round of 3 million. So this is the runaway for 2021 or 2022?
So basically, the first round of investment, which we are now looking for, is 700K, and the breakdown overview of how we will deploy this money is for team implementation, a good part of it for sales and marketing, of course, where we want to focus with our efforts, working capital, as we have a not very short sales cycle, I would say, production administration, and a bit of R&D, of course, to improve our product, to have a version 2.0 improved, of course. 700K will last for between 12 and 16 months. So we know that that's the runway that we have ahead, and we'll be looking already for a 3 million investments to scale and secure the business onwards.
With that money, what are the milestones you aim at achieving? So here it's more, I believe this question is more in regards to number of clients or potential development that you still need to be doing. What is the milestones you want to achieve with these 700K?
Well, we have a clear plan. We have set up our KPIs and goals. Of course, we can measure our business success by revenues, as we see from these slides, from year 1, which should be counted from June 2021 to June 2022. We aim to score 140K of sales in terms of sales. And what we want to do, we want to establish a partnership network with energy service company and other players in this segment that can help us out to scale up. So that's our first and priority and biggest milestone. Then of course we want to implement the team, and we have some minor milestones on the way.
All right, I still have here some questions. So the other one is, you say on your value proposition that you adjust to the needs, okay? And you say that also on real time, but what do you measure to actually know the needs? What is it that you measure to know the exact needs on real time?
It's a bit of a generic question, but I will try to address it. So the point is the following. The current solution works based on a different principle. So basically, we expect a certain traffic intensity between, for example, 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And based on that, current solution providers adjust the light intensity. By the way, also compromising with security and with safety conditions. What we do, we work on real-time data. What does that mean? We have an integrated motion sensors which detects the presence and adjusts on the spot the light intensity. For example, we have a car crossing from A to B straight street lights road. The first street lights detects that the car is arriving, adjust the light intensity at the 100% of light intensity, so entering the 100% of safety conditions. It communicates wirelessly with all the others, which then accordingly adjust the light intensity. So that's what we mean with real-time data. As long as no traffic is detected, the light intensity dims down at the least possible, ensuring also, on the other hand, then the highest saved amount.
All right. Last question, Davide. You talk about 70% on savings. So the real question is this based on previous clients, on pilots you did? Where did you get this number from?
Yes, thanks for the question. We have run a real-scale pilot test, which has been concluded 1 month ago in Italy with the network counting 20 streetlights. It's what we see here, what was our own investment, but based on an interest from the municipality itself. And we have measured pre-installation with the power meter for those 20 streetlights, how much it was the power consumption, the energy consumption, and then the expenses for the municipality. We have done the same exercise and game also after we have installed our solution. So for 3 months, so nowadays almost 4 months of measurements, and we can with I'm highly confident in saying that we have reached some energy saving peaks going up to 70% with an average of 60-65%.
All right, Davide, thank you so much, but time is up, so we'll need to move for the next one. Thank you so much for your answers. Now we are going to move a little bit for another department. We still keep on deep tech and very focused on data, but we move on to Prixman. Prixman actually is helping you who have a website to test its performance and prepare a better service for your customers. How they do this? Through an AI-based solution that will allow online assets to monitor and predict failures, as well as recommend how to optimize your current solutions. So with that being said, I will pass to Reza Arani, who can share the screen and present us what Prixman is all about.
Hello, everybody. Can you see my screen?
It's still loading. It's still loading for me. Okay, I can see it. If I don't see it moving, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you so much. So please count on. Let's start.
Yes.
Okay, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take you to a journey to see how a small service failure could lead to a big loss and how we can help website and infrastructure owners to solve the problem. I think Zoom is not working properly today. I'm sure each of us had issues and bad experiences.
It's moving. So just to confirm you.
Thank you. I'm sure each of us had issues and bad experiences while online shopping or asking some data or service from websites, especially in COVID-19 times, because we use internet much more than usual. So what's the first feeling about those issues? Usually at the moment, we say, it's not working. The first action of user in these cases, in case of these issues, is I have to find another shop, another source for data. Maybe with help of Uncle Google, I can find something better. This is the moment website will lose the user access opportunity. It can cost maybe money, bad impact on brand, dissatisfied user, and industries also can cause injuries. I have to mention Amazon said every 100 milliseconds of latency in online shopping costs about 1% on sale. This is the problem. So, can you see my slide? Solution. Hello. Okay, I'll continue.
Yeah,
So
we are seeing it. We are seeing it.
okay. So what we have created in late 2019 can address these issues. The first target that we seek to start this platform was make an engine to determine and detect these issues. I have to say we don't want to scare people about the platform failure. Therefore, our machine learning and AI-based recommendation system will come to help them to serve flawlessly. As we know, sometimes reaching to the source of problem is difficult, maybe takes time, requires technical people and resources, and sometimes requires too much money. We took one more step further than that, and with power of AI and learning the behavior of website or service, Prixman can predict the service failures, or in case of any security issues or hacking situation, Prixman inform the website owner very, very fast. Okay. So on the other hand, Prixman is very scalable. We can add assessment only maybe in just 5 minutes. It can increase ability of hundreds of tests per minute with minimal hardware or hardware requirements. Or even we can use a Raspberry Pi computer to add a remote local node. Also, we are constantly working on our security to prevent bad experiences which has happened to our competitors. Okay, let's take a look at the market. This is a very big and thirsty market. Market predicts this market will reach to $3.7 billion in 2023 and it's growing constantly. Our goal is to capture at least a 10% market share in Europe and US in short and midterm. And I have to mention IoT is not included in this report. So let's talk about our business model. We are focused on 3 types of customers: high cash flow industries, mass market, and pay-as-you-go customers, and also free users. Our main strategy is lower price and higher sales. We are we are ready to support our customers very fast with our own AI solution with minimum human resources. In this market, competition at the moment is between these vendors. Some of them are big, some of them are small. We are looking at competitors as an opportunity. It's a good opportunity for us because they already opened the road for us. We can teach the market how these type of platforms working. Also, these guys may have some of our services, but we have our own value proposition specialties like all-in-one solution for monitoring websites and to IoT devices with standard protocols and industry side. Our platform can talk with ZigBee, MQTT, Modbus protocols, and those type of protocols. Very low price and more monitoring factor is a great opportunity for us too. Our special lovely AI that could help website owners wisely. A bunch of easy to use dashboard for technical guys to management is another feature. And I have to say we are IoT ready. So let's talk about our current status. Right now we made amount
1
of
minute.
Thank you. Right now we made amount of nearly 100,000 euros, and we have to make solution make our solution global. Okay. We predict we can make more than 2 million euros after 12 months of funding by focusing in these areas. I have to tell we can grow organically, but life is limited and we have passion to grow fast. So let's see who's with us in this journey. Right now, as you see, we have more than 60 years experience, academic knowledge, and PhD degrees in our team. Mahdi has 16 years experience in business development and management. Me, myself, I have 25 years experience in data analysis and programming. Also, Miss Negin, she's expert in the field of network and hardware. We have a lovely guy, Mohammed. He's expert in hardware and software development. Also, we're hiring 2 new roles. Sandra is a great project manager with 30 years experience, and Mehdi also, he will be our PR to take us forward. Thank you for your time, and I'm ready for the questions.
All right, so Reza, thank you so much. So the first question is, who are your current clients, and are you already having revenues?
Yes. Right now we are working in Middle East, and we have a bunch of customers too. And actually, we are making money with these customers right now.
All right, great. Then what will be your geographical focus?
I told in one slide, we are waiting for EU and US market, Europe and US market. Actually, right. It's global. It's not matter where you want to take a look at. Have a look.
All right, perfect. Then the next question is, how much of a differentiating factor is your monitoring features?
I told it before, we can monitor from website applications to IoT devices. It's a really, really huge platform. It's not possible to say all of these information in just 5 minutes. I can give you the email address, and I will be happy to answer this question maybe later.
All right, then we also have here a question: how advanced is your AI, and probably also what are your data lakes? What information do you collect?
It depends on the industry, you know, from the websites and infrastructure. Right now, we have more than 170 factors, from latencies to errors and those type. And in IoT part, we can talk with different protocols. So it's really depends on the market and depends on the customer. In the industry and IoT, we have maybe more than 55 different factors to monitor.
All right, perfect. And then the last question is actually, you mentioned on your pitch customization according to industries. What would be, well, this is not actually the last question, we have one more, but customization according to the industry, what does that mean? What would change in terms, is it in algorithm? What does it change from industry to industry in your analysis?
Yes, thanks. This is a nice question. In industry, I mean, it depends on how the factory is made. From the user interface to machine learning algorithms, it's all customizable for different customers.
All right, and could you mention some of the topics or key points that are customizable?
Yes, I told you right now, from the user interface, it's customizable for the control centers. Maybe sometimes different factories has different control centers, and we can customize it for them. Also, it depends. Maybe I can, for example, in a tile factory, we can use counting number of tiles and the number of the pallets. It depends on the industry. But actually, we have a rule engine to we will give it some information to this rule engine, and it generates some algorithms and some of outputs for us.
All right, last question is that you mentioned that part of the money you'll be using is for patent. Given that your product mostly is algorithm, I believe, what is in here that you could be able to explain if you patent, and if there is any hardware as well involved, or what is in here for you important to also protect?
Yes, we also, in industry support, we have software and hardware together, because we have our own small solutions for maybe data gatherers, maybe some sensors. We have to put these together to make a really nice platform. So we need that amount of money to for the patents, to save them. For actually, it's all about technology. And all we know, these type of technologies can be copied very easily. So that's the reason we need for maybe a few part of our money will be spent on registering the patents.
All right, perfect. I believe that now we have to move to the next one, but thank you so much for your support. I will go for our last but not least, our last presentation. I'm happy to introduce you to DocVox, who allows you to have an efficient overview of meeting history. In case that's right now on online meetings, we do use them a lot, and increase actually your productivity and speed from talk to action, and a clear follow-up of the easy task management you just got from the meeting. This is a smart assistant that will allow you to have manual note-taking, recommendation, and live transcripts. So with that being said, I would like to introduce you to Tom, and I hope I say it correctly, Vurten. I hope it's correct. Tom, over to you.
Thank you, Sophia. Yeah, my last name, it's typical German. I hope you can see my screen. Hello, everybody. I'm Tom. I'm co-founder of DocVox, and our elevator pitch is always document your meeting without even typing. So the problem that we're targeting is, for example, me as a consultant, I have a lot of meetings each day, and between all those meetings, I have a result in inconsistent meeting notes. I have misunderstandings between attendees because of a lot of meetings, and that results in the end in poor task management. To validate that problem, we did a lot of user interviews in numbers 75, we found out that 4.6 hours are lost in meeting preparation and follow-ups each week, and that a usual office worker has 10 meetings each week. So we want an easy solution for that. We want an efficient overview over the meeting history. We want an increased speed and productivity from talk to action. And last but not least, we also want a clear follow-up and easy task management. So how are we going to do that? With the software of DocVox. So you have in our software, you have the typical note-taking as you used to have in normal note-taking softwares. We add to that a live transcribed that has everything of who said what, when. And on top of that, we bring in note and task recommendations based on an AI that is working on the transcript to make suggestions of what you should take over in your notes so that you have less to write and more focus on your meeting. Additionally to that, we offer meeting minutes, charts, analytics, and as well integration into task management softwares. How do you do it? It's an on-premise solution that works with a virtual audio driver to take any audio you want. On top of it, there's an audio transcription that does the speech to text, but those two we don't invent ourselves. It's already software that's out there in the market. But what's special about us, we built this machine learning model on top of it that produces the meeting protocol in the end. So the market is quite big, as all over the world, there are a lot of office workers with a lot of meetings each day and each week. But we firstly focus on the European IT service market, especially on small to medium enterprises, as the procurement process is here quite faster to reach stage where it's used and paid. So there's also a lot of competition out there. Of course, we're competing with the traditional manual note-taking and as well with a lot of transcription tools that are out there. But compared to them, what makes us special is the AI focus that we're generating your meeting notes and tasks. And also you can visual the whole meeting in charts or in a mind map. On top of that, we are also securing a good, cybersecurity and as well GDPR compliant, as well as we are offering a cross-platform capability as we can take any audio you want. Our price model is a freestanding professional model as you used to know for a typical SaaS product to try out the product. And if you want to use it more and have more features, you have to pay more. Our attractions already, we had one award winning a couple of months ago. We already have 2 press mentions. We're working with 3 partners and already have 8 LOIs that were willing to work in pilots with us. The team of us consists out of Victor, me, and Surya. Victor's in charge of the technical stuff, me as an CEO, and Surya is in charge of sales and marketing. Our outlook for the and our roadmap is in October, we want to start an Exist scholarship that's Germany specific. It's 120K equity free for 1 year. In November, we want to start a pilot phase and have a market ready product in March 22. We're on top of that, we're looking for 1-year financing with 250K euros to reach a subscription amount of 2,300 subscriptions and to generate a revenue of 37K euros. So do you have any questions? Thank you for your attention.
Yes, indeed, we have. So the first question is, who is your primary target inside companies? Who do you need to sell this to?
Our primary target would be the CSO, as we think our software would be has a big usage in sales, especially if you're talking to many customers and have many sales talks each day. But we can also imagine it in anywhere where it's an agile work. discipline, as you have a lot of meetings also there.
As a previous, this is a question, not me. As a previous translator interpreter, how do you assure high quality in specific legal medical meetings, for example, in different languages or dialects where the words can be very specific? Wow, this is a tricky one. So it's basically, I believe, the trustability on the conversion transcript.
So with actual solutions on the transcript, there's an accuracy around 90% that you can reach nowadays. And on top of that, there's the AI working, especially working towards you, like understanding your surrounding and understanding your topics. So it can be more focused on your business and on your talks.
Right. And the next question would be, do you offer integration with cloud services?
Definitely, but first of all, we want to have that your protocol and your transcript and your notes are first saved locally, so you have a higher security that that everything of your meeting is not directly into the cloud. So if you want to, you can push it into the cloud.
All right. Besides GDPR, is it also compliant with other US regulations?
It is definitely in our view for the future, but first of all, we're focusing on the European market and therefore the GDPR.
All right. How do you intend to get ahead of bigger players in the market?
That's definitely our USP, as we are thinking of generating the meeting notes for you, what other players in the market are not doing right now. They're mostly focusing on the transcript.
All right. Then as last question, we also have, where is your focus on AI? Is it on individual person and improving for each person? Or is it a general platform you're using for all the conversations? And so, for instance, to improve this 90% on the transcript, what is the AI improving inside the platform?
For this deep technical question, I would hand over to Victor, who is also in the call. Victor?
Hello, I'm the CTO of DocFox. Thanks for the introduction. Yes, we're using, therefore, we're having a freemium and a standard model where you don't have GDPR compliance. And we're using this information, this data, which we're accessing through this free and standard model, and can train a more specific model. So we have it through these models, we are accessing a huge database of, or like a huge amount of data. I hope that this kind of answers your questions.
Mm-hmm. The last question, well, I still have here some questions, but one of the questions is actually how many hours did these have already gathered information? So from your current track record, how much data have you collected so far to actually start improving the algorithm?
We're currently in the pilot phase. That means mostly we're working with them and to develop the features. We recorded sessions, but we are not in the current state as the analyzing. We are in the phase of producing a product ready or like a market ready product. And there's our focus currently on connecting the pieces and make it scalability or like make it scalable.
All right. Then we also have an information that if, let's imagine that, let's say that we have several corporate that have very confidential information and that they start using these as their core, let's say, for the online meetings, which is a huge possibility. How do you, and then this would allow DocVox to have key and confidential information from several corporates. So how do you protect yourself from information leakages, and how do you keep the confidentiality of
this is a really easy question, because all the things run on your computer. This means like your information are not leaving your computer. So like there are no confidential information at DocFox.
All right, perfect. So everything is kept on the user, right?
On your corporate server, what do you decide? And therefore all your corporate information are very as safe as they can get.
Mm-hmm. Are there any demo options? I mean, you have one option that says that is free for 5 meetings, but the question is here, are there any demo options, free trials?
I mean, the free version, like the free version you can just use. Like there's the maximum, I think, of of 5 meetings total. So you're only allowed to use 5 meetings in your life. And or like you can delete them again, but yeah, like this is our demo kind of, and then you have to update.
All right. Do you plan to work with human editors to validate the AI quality and fine-tune the machine learning?
Yes, this is our expansion. You're asking the right questions, because we are planning in the future to cooperate with freelancers to also offer more advanced functionalities, also to help us, of course, increase our model in the future.
All right, perfect. That sounds great. And it's about it, because we are running out of time. And based on this, I think that if we have here someone on the audience from Unbabel, I think it would be extremely interesting to connect you with DocVox. I think that there could be a lot of synergies, because they do this specific part just of translation. So I think that it could be interesting. Thank you so much for this presentation of DocVox. I would like to thank everyone to be here. I'm just going to give you a quick update in terms of our YouTube viewers. As you know, this YouTube link will remain online, and we will share it, especially with our American investors, which is still really early for them, so they couldn't join. But so far, we had over 200 transmissions. On average, we had around 50 viewers, reaching on peak times on 60 and 70. So these were some of the statistics of today, this broadcast on YouTube. For all the startups that are here, I would like to just give you a really huge congratulations, because I saw your pitch on Monday and I think that it's amazing, it's getting incredible, but it will be even better before our demo day, which we will have a next demo day in November, close to the Web Summit, when we always do it. So I would like to thank you all. And also, if you are interested, I would just like to stress one more time, if you want to know more about these startups, or even if you want to have one-on-one meetings with each one of them, please reach out to us. It's on the chat on YouTube to giral@bgi.pt, and we will connect you with all of them, or with the ones that you want to meet. Before I close, I want just to thank all of the entrepreneurs for the amazing work, the amazing energy throughout the week. I'm extremely excited to kick off this Accelerator 12th edition for this year with you. And with no further ado, and because we are closing really to the time of finishing this session, I would just like to thank everyone in the audience for being here with us, for always following what the BGI startups are doing. And I hope you find in these deep tech entrepreneurs some of your potential deals, future deals. So thank you